everybody, it's Seth Jones, Editor-in-Chief of Golfdom Magazine. I'm at the 2025 GCSA Conference and Trade Show out in beautiful San Diego. And I'm being joined by 2025 U.S. Open host Superintendent Mike McCormick. Mike, how's it going, man?
It's going great. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited to have you here. I'm excited for this U.S. Open. It's always, you guys, it's something, there's like another level. It's the U.S. Open, but going out there to see you guys, it's always exciting. First question is, walk me, when did you come back to Oakmont? Because last time I was there, I saw you there, but you've gone on and you did some other things, and you came. Walk me through your career path.
Yeah, so I actually started at Oakmont as an intern back in 2010. As between my junior and senior year at UMass Amherst, and came out for the Women's Open that year. Graduated from UMass, came back, worked my way up to an assistant superintendent role I was there through the 2016 U.S. Open. Shortly thereafter, I got my first superintendent job at the Appomattox Club in Rye, New York. I was at Appomattox for 6 years. Absolutely loved it there. Had a chance to be a part of some really neat things at Appomattox. And then about 2.5 years ago, got the opportunity to return to Oakmont into my current role. I met my wife in Pittsburgh. Her family's from Pittsburgh. And then Oakmont was always certainly at the top of my list in terms of a dream job. Never thought I would get that opportunity, but when it came knocking, I ran as fast as I could.
Good for you. Congratulations. When I heard the news, I was like, that's really cool. Just knowing you. But here's and it's a loaded question, but there's so much pressure with the U.S. Open and with Oakmont. And the last time you were there, you had you guys. You had Dave there. You had John there. You had, and now you're good. This one's going to be you. What's that pressure feel like?
Well, I think first of all, we have an unbelievable team. The culture amongst our team, our leadership, Matt Clausen, our director of agronomy. I mean, he's just an absolute stud, and so that's the first thing, and just tackling this thing as a team, and then secondly, the membership, the leadership at the club, has just been unbelievably supportive towards our team, and it's an exciting time at the club. We've done a lot of work to the golf course, the kind of surrounding facilities. Oakmont's an anchor site with the USJ now, so we're really excited about that to continue Oakmont's championship legacy and traditions. So it's good, but I just ultimately try to take it day by day, and try not to get too excited when things are going well, and vice versa when things aren't going well, and take it one step at a time. And ultimately, I've been through it before, obviously not in this role, but I think at the end of the day, our team, the support of the club, and the relationships, and ultimately the guys that are going to come back and help support us during the championship week, I feel pretty good about that.
Okay, what is different? Like, what's kind of changed? What will I see that I didn't know is going on out there?
So in 2023, the club enlisted Gil Hans to come in and do a pretty comprehensive restoration of the golf course. So we redid all the bunkers. We added about 300 yards of length to the golf course, changed some grassing lines around back to what they originally were during the phones era. And then we did a lot of work actually to the putting greens themselves. So obviously Oakmont's known for its iconic greens, the speed in which they're played at. But what had really happened over the years, from all the sand splash and aerification, top dressing procedures, the perimeters of the greens had built up in elevation. So Gil came back in, referenced historical photos, kind of did his, excavation around the greens, found the original profile, and we ended up doing about half-acre green expansions, which any hole locations we had in 2016 for that U.S. Open are still there, but on every green we have a plethora of new hole locations as well. So that's probably the most noticeable thing. Gil took out some of the more modern features that had been added after the phones era, reintegrated some of the more original features. So it's the same Oakmont, same bones, but probably the closest iteration it's been to the original phones masterpiece. So it's exciting.
Okay, great. That is exciting. What? How did you get into this industry? When did you know you wanted to do this?
From a very young age. So I I grew up, I was obsessed with golf. My mom, I think, has pictures of me, in the backyard wearing a, Greg Norman straw hat, hitting golf balls around. But there was a course next town over for me called Stowe Acres Country Club, public 36-hole facility. I actually started working there when I was pretty young, I think 11 or 12, picking range balls, washing carts. I noticed the grounds guys out working, became kind of infatuated with that, and ultimately the superintendent, who was Eric Koskinen, who's now, with Aquatrolls, asked me if I wanted to jump in on the team. Fell in love with it, and it's pretty cool. Like that crew from when I was working there through, I guess, middle school, high school. There's probably still 8 or 10 guys that are in the turf industry. So Eric's really the one who got me going, and then he's the one who suggested I go to University of Massachusetts. Went there, was really fortunate to have some great mentors through my internships while I was at school, and then ultimately landed at Oakmont and left, came back. So
yeah. What advice do you have for young people out there who are thinking about taking on this industry and being successful in this industry?
I think number one is finding the right mentors, people who are really going to kind of actually, for me, it was getting me out of my own comfort zone, finding guys that were going to challenge me, push me to be the best version of myself. So I think that's the first thing. But secondly, just building relationships, networking, coming to things like this, trade shows, meeting as many people as you can, and a lot of the best friends I have on earth, a lot of my own support system. They're not guys that I worked with, they're guys I met at trade shows and stayed in touch with them, and those relationships build, and that's, I think, what's most unique about our industry.
Good. Let me ask you kind of a product-specific question, and, and this might be a different thing, but Quali-Pro is going to sponsor our coverage of the U.S. Open. What are you using? What can you tell me, like, what anything that you guys are employing that you're particularly appreciative of?
Yeah, no doubt. So we've been using Quali-Pro at Oakmont for several years now, and it's really kind of slowly built into the platform of our chemical program. So we use a wide variety of products throughout their portfolio, from the post patents, the QP 720s and tebuconazoles, all the way up to their proprietary ingredients like Soprado. And the more and more we work with their products, just that trust, that reliability that exists there, the quality of the products, and the support that we get from their team, I think is really unique and really special. And ultimately, that's when Quali-Pro approached us to support us for the championship, we were really excited to do that.
Very cool. Great. They're good partners of ours too, so I'm glad it's nice to.
And they're great people too.
Yeah.
You actually had an opportunity a few weeks ago to go down to their facility down in Texas and tour their plant, and just meeting the people, seeing where they kind of make the sauce. It's a really cool experience.
I've done that. I've done it every year for probably 12 years. Gone down there and just go down and grab dinner or whatever. And it's been fun getting to know those guys. How about the USGA? There's so much technology that is even from the 16 US Open. I mean, just I feel like in the last couple of years, it's been kind of this technology renaissance in the industry. What excites you about the things that the USGA has to help you guys make the US Open the US Open?
Yeah, I think like you touched on, technology is growing almost at an exponential rate, right? Between the technology that exists to collect and interpret data, to all these different platforms where you can kind of organize and streamline your operation. But from a USGA standpoint, we really started working with the GS3 ball and their Deacon app last season, trying to get accustomed to it as we led up to the US Open this year. And I think some of the data that we're able to collect now, the trueness, smoothness, things like that, kind of different data points that we've never had before. Especially looking at things like, how long does it take for the greens to get back to normal after we aerify, or, how does top dressing implement or affect ball roll, things like that. It's really cool. And then to be able to pick up your cell phone and see all that data right in front of you, it's an exciting thing.
It's cool that you guys have this now, and it's like I feel like it's good for me in my job because it's giving me stuff to write about and whatnot.
Well, how are you? Good to see you, man. We have always collected data at Oakmont, and it was always old school, normal stent meter, firmness, moisture test, and it's someone sitting at a computer typing up data into an Excel spreadsheet and pulling together graphs off that. But now that you have an app that can do that on its own, it's been awesome.
That's a time saver for sure.
Yeah.
So let me. How's about this? How's about like what's your favorite old school tool?
I would say favorite old school tool has to be a Toro 648. Versatility of that piece of equipment, how we utilize it at Oakmont. I don't think there's really anything like it. And there's a lot of new stuff coming out too that's pretty exciting. So
cool.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, we're looking forward to the U.S. Open, and,
Thank you.
And best of luck to you guys, and we hope you get all the perfect weather that you can possibly ask for.
Well, thank you so much.
All right.
Appreciate your time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody, this is Mike McCormick. I'm Seth Jones. We're at the GCSA Conference and Trade Show. Thanks for watching us here on GolfdomTV.